it's Hannah here, and so today we're going to continue our beginner series for makeup, and today I'm going to be doing eye makeup for beginners. And I think eye makeup is one of the most important things, just something that you can really feel free to express yourself and try different things, experiment, and it's so much fun. And that's really how even I learned how to start doing makeup and that sort of thing, is really just practice and trying and experimenting, seeing what colors I could put together and blend and see what would happen. And it's really fun, and it brings out your artsy side. So if you're an artsy person, you're always gonna have fun with that. So let's get started. The first thing that I want to talk about is when we're thinking eye makeup, it's sometimes really daunting when you're going into the store, just starting using makeup. How do I know what colors work together? If I want an everyday look, how do I know how to put that together? That sort of thing. So I recently found this palette and I think it's really great. I'm really actually quite impressed with Wet n Wild, because this is a drugstore product that is pretty inexpensive, and it's so excellent. It really is, because it's a palette that kind of comes like this. This one's called Comfort Zone, and what's so great about it is that it tells you exactly where each color should go on your eyes. For a beginner that doesn't really know what colors do I think look good, how do I put that together, how do I pull it off in just a short amount of time so I can get up and do whatever I need to do during my day, this is just so excellent because you know exactly where everything's going. Other makeup companies like Almay and Maybelline New York, I think, and also CoverGirl have started doing these palettes where they tell you exactly, for hazel eyes, this would look great. These colors work. For blue eyes, these colors work. And so it really gives you a sense of what works and what you know is going to look good on your eyes. And sometimes I think people are a little confused because they're not sure if they should just pick colors that are supposed to look good with their eye color, or if they can mess around with random colors and if that's gonna look good. And it's just this whole kind of confusing thing, especially for beginners. So I really recommend, if you're just starting out with makeup, especially eye makeup, to get one of these palettes that tells you exactly what colors and where to put them and that sort of thing, because that gets you in the mindset of like, oh well, for hazel eyes, greens, bronzes, golds, things like that look really good, and even purples. So just to know that when you're doing your eye makeup in the future, just that those colors work, and you can kind of keep that up and try new things and see if those work too. And blue eyes look really great with like a brown. Definitely even you can use your own eye color. If you have blue eyes, you can use a light blue that could really make your eyes pop. Brown eyeliner, brown mascara just would really make them pop extra much. For hazel eyes, like I said, pinks, purples, cool colors look really nice, especially. Also depends on your skin tone. So if you have a lighter skin tone, you want to stick with cool colors and not necessarily oranges and things like that. Sometimes that doesn't look as good. But definitely if you have a more darker skin tone like beige, something like that, you might want to stick with some warm colors, try some warm browns, some oranges, some yellows, those kind of colors would really make that eye color pop, and even pinks and purples as well. And for green eyes, it's sort of the same thing as with hazel. You want to stick with colors like purples, violets, pinks, that sort of thing will really make that eye color stand out and pop. So you're really thinking about colors in essence, what works well with what. If you're an artist, you kind of have a sense of that a little bit. But even if you're not, just to kind of think about it. If you just experiment a little bit, see what works, see what doesn't, Like I said, I really recommend if you're starting off with eye makeup, start off with a palette that tells you where to put things, just so that it's a little less confusing, easier for you. You kind of get in a routine. If you like those colors, you keep on using them, and then later on you want to try something new, break out of just the palette that tells you what to do, and try to figure out what works. So for instance, this palette, we have it starts with the definer, and it actually, even in the back, tells you exactly where to put these colors on the eye. And that's just really helpful because then you know. And also, it also tells you which ones will give you what kind of effect. If you're going for a really dramatic look, use all 4. If you're looking for a daytime look every day, flirty, fun, use the first 2 colors. I really, really love this idea. And so definer will define your eyes, so you kind of put it at the corner and with a brush, which it comes with. So don't worry if you don't have any crazy brushes, just use what they give you initially. And you can even use your fingers. That's the truth. People are so focused on using an applicator, a brush, something like that, that they don't think anything else works. But actually, you can get a really nice effect just using your fingers. Just make sure you wash them before you actually apply whatever you want on there. So definer defines the eye, so you were gonna go a little bit from the outer corner forward, a little bit, just a little bit, not all over the lid because that's going to be too much, just slightly so that your eyes begin to pop a little bit more. Then the crease area is exactly what you think it is. It's that crease right here on your eyes. And these colors are typically darker, just a little bit, because you really want your eyes to pop, and if you start at the crease, it will make your eyes pop. You have the eyelid, which is just like the base color. And this is just, you just put it all along the eyelid like it says, and then the brow bone. So that's right above. And typically what you want to remember with eye makeup is usually, not always, but depending on the look that you're going for, usually for an everyday look, you want the inner corner to be the lightest. So the lightest colors you want to go in the inner corner. Now, in this palette specifically, they don't ever say like inner corner or anything like that. So what I'd recommend personally is taking the brow bone color and also putting that along the inner corner. It'll just brighten your eyes up, make them pop. Just you have like a lightness here, and then it just gets darker, which is exactly what, for the most part, you're going to be going for. And the crease is always going to be darker because you want your eyes to pop. And then the definer can also be the same thing as the crease color. So don't be confused by this palette. You can have 2 different colors, but you can also have just 1 color for both the crease and the definer. It just sort of depends what you want to do. Remember, for the crease color, because it can be darker, you don't maybe necessarily want to overpower that by just placing it all over. You just want 1 coat just kind of along, just enough to really define that crease line and make your eyes pop. So just remember that. Almay does a few of these. I used up all of mine, but pretty much these were the hazel green colors for green hazel eyes. You have your lid color, you have your like crease color right here, and then this is your underneath your eyebrow color. So this is your highlighter, and it even tells you on the back too exactly how that's done and how you go about it. So if you forget, don't be worried. Of course, as you guys can see, I've used up most of these, but they're great products, so definitely check those out. Also, in terms of brushes, so when we're thinking about our eyes, we want different types of brushes, and you don't necessarily, like I said, need to get brushes. Because usually when you buy a palette, which is definitely the best deal, I don't recommend for a beginner to necessarily just get a single color, because you want to start with a decent palette. It's a better deal. You can get this at the drugstore, and for different eye colors, it's just a great way of getting started. And I remember when I just started out with makeup, I didn't understand like why when I apply makeup like a second later or hours later, it creases and it looked so bad, and I just didn't understand, like, what do I do? Because, you know, people don't really tell you these things. You just kind of have to learn and figure it out. And that's why I'm making this video for you guys. Hopefully I can help you out a little bit with different ways of using makeup, tricks, tips, things like that, so you don't have to be in the dark and confused about all that stuff. But what I really recommend for all of you guys, if you want to avoid your makeup creasing and getting gross and nasty throughout the day, you really want to get the most out of the products that you're using. And in order to do that, you have to use a primer. And an eye primer looks like this. These are two different ones, but by the same brand. This is Urban Decay. And yes, you can find eye primers at the drugstore. Now, I haven't tried those personally because I know that this product is so great that I've gotten some really great discounts and been able to purchase this product. But I really recommend, you know, if the priciness is an issue, definitely check out their website, go for sales. I got this extra large one for $9 because it was this massive sale. So just be sure to check that out because these definitely can be more pricey. And you just don't want to, if you don't have to spend so much money, then you don't want to. So this is really, really excellent. The thing that can be a little bit confusing if you are using the Urban Decay primer is that it comes with a lot of different kinds, a small sampler size of the original eye primer. So this is just original, and what the difference is, I found, is this is more light. So if you're not looking for an eye primer that kind of clears off your eye area so you don't have to use any concealer or anything to just hide any red spots or anything like that, then this may not be your ideal product. This is just great for just a light coat that really lasts for such a long time. This product goes such a long way, and I think what's also confusing is you don't know how much you should use when you're just starting out with it, but you just put a tiny dot on your finger and you just want to cover that eye. So this is a great product, but you just want to make sure to remember that this is an eye primer that's not gonna, it will conceal some stuff, but it's not gonna conceal everything because it's not very thick, but it works amazingly well. So if you just want the original, this is the perfect product. Something light, something easy, this is great. Now, the second product that I got the deal on is the Urban Decay Eye Primer Potion, and this one's called Eden. And the difference is Eden is more of a concealer slash primer. So if you're looking for something that's just going to conceal any lines, any dark spots, anything like that, this is the perfect one for you. It does all in one. Just by using this, you get the whole job done. So I really recommend this. I love it a lot. It's great. But both of these products are just so great. So please, if you're starting makeup and you're realizing that it's creasing and it's annoying and you just don't know what to do, this is what to do. So usually these go, depending on the size, for a higher amount of money, $20 to $40 range depending on the size. So it is a more pricey thing, but definitely check out those sales because when you do find a sale or sale at the store like Ulta, Sephora, that sort of thing, it's really, really well worth the opportunity, so take advantage of it. So I definitely recommend that. You don't need a professional, like legit brush in the beginning. But later on, if you really get into it, here are a few different brushes that I would use on my eyes, for instance. This brush right here is really, really great when you're getting into smaller areas, inner corners right here, and maybe even like right underneath the brow bone right there, you know, as a highlighter. This is just a really great brush for just getting into those small areas. And again, you don't need all these brushes. I'm just giving you a sense of the different types of brushes you can use for different eye areas. Now this one is great if you're gonna do a smudging look, because this is called an angled brush. And this goes if you're smudging a color out right here. you're gonna use an angled brush because it's just easier to get in there and really smudge it out, have a great effect. This is a really great brush, so I recommend using this. This is a flat brush, and flat brushes are really, really great when you're using an eyelid color just to get it on there. Again, as you guys can probably see, these brushes can be used for multiple purposes. By no means do you only use this for your eyelids. Like, you can use this also as a blending brush. It may not be as easy to use as a blending brush just because of the flatness and how it's shaped, but you can still definitely use that if you want to. And this brush is really great highlighting brush, so I'll use this for highlighting colors right under my brow bone and even in my inner corner. This is a really great brush. And then this one is by far my most prized brush because it is the most important. This is the blending brush, and as you can see, it's kind of rounded. It's like bigger, more like fluffy. And this is great when you're blending out a color from like the crease area. Really excellent brush, and this really helps you work with your blending skills. In the beginning, you don't need to be so concerned about blending, but later on, when you're experimenting, things like that, this really comes in handy to blend out some of those colors, mix different colors that you never thought would go together. This is a great tool. Now I'm going to talk about mascara and eyeliners. One of the most important eyeliners that I've come by, this is not even a black liner. This is a white eyeliner. And you're probably thinking, why would I need a white eyeliner? It's white, like it's not gonna show, like why would I need that? You definitely don't need this. This is not a product that you need, but I love it because you can go into your inner corners right here and you can just fill that with this color, and which is white, and it just gives you a really nice, shiny, like highlighted color that looks really, really great when you want the brightest point to be here and darkest point to be out here. It just works really nicely. So this is by Makeup Forever in white, and it's really, really great. I really love it. And you can also use this, say you're doing liquid eyeliner on your lids and you just don't want a heavy eyeliner below. You can use this below and just coat your lower lids with this, and it just looks great. I mean, it just makes your eyes seem that much bigger, which is really interesting, but it actually has that effect. So that's a great product. I really recommend for you guys to experiment a little bit with colored eyeliner. I really got into it. I didn't know how much I'd get into it, but it's really, really fun because basically all eyeliners come in all different colors. It's really impressive. You can get gold eyeliners, which just has a really nice color to it if you have hazel eyes and you just want that extra pop, or whatever it may be. It looks really nice, especially for summer. This is again the Maybelline Define-A-Line. This is just in traditional black. You can like smudge it and it blends really well, and it's just a really nice black. So that's nice. And then this is by Almay, and this is a purple one. So this is really great. Here's a trick. If you have hazel eyes or green eyes, using purple liner really, really has like the most amazing effect with like green eyes and hazel eyes. Also, you can use this, with brown eyes. You can use it with blue eyes, basically any eye color. Purple looks great, and it's really surprising because you would never think that, but it's really great. It's a great color. Of course, Urban Decay has fantastic colored eyeliners. These are really great. They last forever. Great products, smudge really well, don't move around during the day. I am literally in love with their eyeliners. It's great. This one's called 1999, and it's this gorgeous burgundy sort of color. And this is great for green eyes. And then this one is another Urban Decay one called Flipside. And this is just gorgeous for summer, just a nice, nice aqua color. Again, experiment your heart out with these. And then this is just a green. And surprisingly, because I think some people think, well, if I have green eyes or hazel eyes, why would I use more green? It's a really great color to use. It'll make any eye color look great. Like, you can use it for any eye color, but especially green looks great. Going from there to liquid eyeliner. So I have both the Urban Decay 24/7 liquid eyeliner. And I was thinking when I got this, because I got this with my Book of Shadows #4, and I thought that this was going to be like the best eyeliner ever. And you know what? I was surprisingly wrong. I don't really like this eyeliner that much. And I think some people really do, so it's definitely not across the board. Like, you may love this. I just personally didn't. It had a bit more of a watery consistency for my liking. With liquid eyeliner, I like something that isn't gonna go everywhere, that it's just easy to apply. You don't get liquid everywhere. It's not watery. But I was a little disappointed with this one. So definitely keep that in mind. Don't use high-end everything, because not everything high-end is the best. And actually, surprisingly, the Wet n Wild Mega Liner actually has been my go-to eyeliner, liquid eyeliner, for the past few years. It's great. And here's why. It's like, comes with this great brush, really easy to apply, not all over the place liquidy, and it's just all around just a really great eyeliner. So I really recommend you guys check this out at the drugstore. It's a great product. Finally, like mascaras. I've talked about this one before. Great Lash, Maybelline New York. And I'm liking this product way more than I thought I would later on. It's one of those products that at the beginning I'm like, oh, I don't know about this one. But once I started using it, I really, yeah, it's pretty good. And so this is Great Lash. And this one is a rounded mascara brush. So what I'd recommend is try different things. If you want to try a rounded one, see what it's like. I don't know. I haven't been noticing that this like curls my lashes or anything. Not really, but it's still good. And Great Lash by Maybelline New York, they make really good mascaras. So I definitely recommend that. And then Urban Decay, this is the Super Curling Mascara. And so sometimes what you can find is the ones that say like super curl, extra length, really voluminous sort of mascaras. It's not always the case. Some of them are really true to what they say, and some of them you'll find aren't. And it's just kind of lucky draw with mascara. You definitely just try different things. What I love about this is you can see the bristles are just really, really tight and small. So this is great to use for the lashes underneath. It's just great with this small brush, and it really makes each one of your lashes just stand out. And then the other thing about eyeliners is you can get pretty funky. You can try some crazy things. This one is Glam Rock by Urban Decay, and as you can see, it's a sparkly eyeliner. So I love this. I bought this for New Year's Eve, and I love it. It's so funky. It's so much fun. And these come in gold, purple, green, every color of sparkles you can really think of. And they're fantastic. So I really, really recommend this product. I couldn't recommend it more. So this is great if you just want to experiment with eyeliner, see what happens. Great product. Now, if you want to curl your lashes, this is what I recommend to do, using an eyelash curler. These are really, really great. They open and close like this, and they kind of look like scissors a little bit, but they're not. This is just really excellent. I recommend this. And you can get these, I think, even at like any drugstore, Ulta, Sephora, anything like that. You don't need these. These are not like a necessity in life, but if you do want something to curl your lashes, you like your lashes curled, this is a great product to do so. So you just open it up, put your lashes in there, and just close it and just hold it for just like a few seconds. I've noticed a difference. Lastly, I just kind of quickly want to go into palettes. For your eyes, I definitely recommend getting palettes, because palettes are great because you get so many different colors all in one. I've talked about this many times. I love it. It's the Sun-Baked Neutrals by Maybelline New York. And it's just fantastic because you get so many different little squares of colors. Really experiment, see what works, love it. Neutrals, like neutral tone colors, are great for every day. Very lastly, I promise you guys, I've talked about this before. This is a great palette for experimenting purposes for beginners. You can get like 144 something eyeshadows for only $15, which is fantastic because this is something that you can really have use of, experiment with the different colors, and I'll be doing some looks from this palette, but this is just an absolutely fantastic palette. And as you can see, you have your darker browns, you know, blacks, purples, pinks, blues, greens, yellows. You really have everything in this palette. So I really recommend this for people that are just looking to experiment with eyeshadows without having to pay a ton of money for a whole bunch of eyeshadow. So I hope you guys found this a little bit helpful, informative, that sort of thing. That's what I'm all about here. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!